I don't know about you, but I love a good framework battle from time to time. Today, I want to performance test 4 projects. There are 4 backend applications made with Express, Fastify, and Nest with Express and with Fastify. They are all made with the same technology, which are Prisma, with PostgreSQL for data management, but also do some authentication with Passport and GWT, and some data validation with Class Validator. The 4 applications provide the same endpoints for authentication, user management, and an article management system, which we'll use for the performance test. All the applications will be hosted on AWS with Amazon RDS for the database. Then the application itself will be hosted on Elastic Beanstalk. The most important thing is that we won't use the default instance type. I will replace them with T2 Medium, which is a bit better. You can see the difference on this page with the CPU and RAM. Once everything is configured, I can indeed access my app on Elastic Beanstalk. Maybe you saw it at the beginning, but I will use artillery to do my performance tests. You can see the main script here. What I'm going to do is set up 4 environments for my test and 1 scenario. What the scenario is doing is creating a user, logging in, creating a new article, and getting a list of articles. For this scenario, I need to generate some data, which are unique to not have, for example, the same account or article title. Finally, I have 3 external configurations to define the number of requests I'm going to do. With artillery, we can create virtual user. The number is defined through the arrival rate property. What it defines is the number of virtual users it's going to create per second. So in this case, it will create 2 virtual users per second that will do the scenario I showed before. This config is for a low usage example. It will do the scenario 2 times per second. The scenario contains 4 requests, so we'll have 8 requests per second. To simulate a more heavy use, there is another configuration with 4 users. Finally, I want to see my server fail, so I have another configuration with way more users, which will go from 4 to 6. What I want to do with this configuration is compare the performance of response time between my different servers. Also, maybe some servers will fail before others. What I'm going to do is run all this configuration with a different environment and compare results. With artillery, we can generate a simple report that looks like the following. First, let's have a look at what data is in our report and how the virtual users work. Here, we can see we have a report on data every 10 seconds, which defines the number of virtual users successfully created. We have 20 users successfully created as we create 2 per second. But the most interesting part is a report on the response performance, which we can see here. We have a report with a response that took the least time, the most time, the median time, and P95, P99. P95 defines the max time of the best 95% of requests, and same thing with P99 with 99% of requests. It will be quite hard to compare these files one by one, so I'll do a bit of spreadsheet magic and show you these results. Here we can compare the performance report of the 4 servers when simulating a low load. What we can see is they are quite similar. It seems like Fastify has slightly better performance. The biggest difference can be seen on the max request, but I don't think it's significant. Actually, I'm not very interested in a low load simulation. I want to see how my server works when it's quite heavily used. So let's go to the next report. Honestly, I'm quite surprised from these results. I expected the low-level servers with Express and Fastify to be much better than the ones with Nest. We can see again Fastify and the backend with Nest based on Fastify is slightly better, but I also run some tests to see if one server would fail before another one. We can see it in the following report with the errors in timeout. Again, we have some results every 10 seconds, and we can see the first requests are failing around 140 seconds. But the good news is, if we look at the report for Fastify, we can see it fails way later. We can see it fails 1 minute later because that's when we start making requests with 6 virtual users. And actually the same thing is happening with the Nest versions. The one with Express fails around 2 minutes 20, and the one with Fastify fails 1 minute later. Again, I'm quite surprised by my results. I really expected my low-level servers to be way better, and it's not the case. So it makes the NestJS framework even better than I thought. And in the end, it's a signal to change one thing on my projects. I will definitely start using Fastify, even if I use NestJS over it.